From the big smoke to the big apple. Whether you drink Coke or sip Snapple.
That one day you might be a Home Secretary when you were at Oxford. Would you have smoked the cannabis then?
I don't know, but I know it's wrong now.
OK. Jackie Smith, thank you very much.
But frankly, you know, let me be clear about this. We are getting totally into conspiracy theory territory.
They are stealing your property!
That's perfect, thank you.
Right, it's the House of Lords, like cavalry, came charging to the rescue yesterday and defeated the 42-day detention plan. And Jackie Smith has announced that she's going to sort of put it on ice for the moment. She's going to hold it on file just in case we ever need it in a moment of crisis.
So it's not really a defeat then?
Well, I think it probably is, you know. And it can't be very nice for her, poor old Jackie Smith.
Well, she inherited it, really, didn't she?
Well, I suppose she did, yeah, but she's been trying to push it through.
Yeah.
Don't ask me about Jackie Smith. She went to a school near me,
did she?
near where I used to live, and it was the school where the Dossers went.
Anne? That's cruel.
And we used to get really nasty about them. And the idea that our Home Secretary comes from that school just makes my flesh crawl, and I'm going to get into such trouble now because somebody's going to be able to do their homework on that and
Can I
trace
just
it
say,
back.
because I've always thought she was the cool member of the cabinet because she played drinking games at university and looked human. And then, admittedly, as time has gone on, I've changed my mind.
Please.
Yeah.
Mr. Smith, good morning. I know you want to talk to us about crime and the perception of crime. However, you have caused a little bit of a stir this morning. So I think we need to start with the cannabis. How much of it did you smoke and when did you smoke it?
I smoked it a few times at university more than 25 years ago. I was wrong, and we now, of course, know a lot more about the potential damage that cannabis can do, particularly links to mental health problems, the fact that it's becoming stronger, and I think the Prime Minister was right yesterday when he said we now need to look at whether or not we should reclassify it. Well, the thing about MPs is that we have to live in more than one place. And, you know, I've always been very clear with the authorities about the arrangements that I make. I specifically asked whether or not, you know, the home where my children live had to be my main home. I received assurances that it didn't have to be. I have abided by the rules. You know, everything that I've done is above board. In the end, because we have to live in two places, that's the reason why we make the arrangements that we do.
Damien Green, an honourable opposition politician doing his job, holding your government to account, finds 9 anti-terrorist officers inside his house, ransacking every aspect of his private life there, letters between his wife and himself. His daughter comes home in floods of tears to see this going on. Do you think, before we start on any of the details, that you owe Mr. Green an apology? Given what happened to Mr. Green, I come back to it, and given what happened to his family, do you not think you owe him an apology? What about my original question, which is when did you know that he was the subject of the investigation?
Well, I didn't know specifically who was the subject of the investigation, and incidentally,
Sorry,
Andrew,
did you know,
nor do I know. I'm saying I didn't.
I know, but did you know that a Conservative MP was being investigated before the arrest of Damien Green?
No, because what I think is important here is that actually the police are able to use their professional judgment to pursue an investigation.
Are you okay, sir?
The idea that, you know, this is Stalinism, this is a police state.
Any other drugs that you took at university?
No.
There's a diagram there.
In my book, I do think it is important that if you believe in the principle of operational independence for policing...
Yes, recording. This is Mark I'm here to do a rather stupid rant. Can you get it? Yeah, it's still recording though, so you can hold it and I'll do one. You won't do that again, will you? Oh, we got who that was? You got a fucking.
So you didn't sign such a warrant.
Conspiracy theory.
Damien Green clearly believes that he was bugged, that his BlackBerry was bugged, his phone was bugged.
82-year-old Walter Wolfgang is a lifelong member of the Labour Party and has always been a regular at their conferences. But in 2005, during Jack Straw's speech on foreign affairs, Walter found himself unable to control his criminal tendencies.
Then he turned to Iraq, and then I just boiled over and shouted nonsense, that was all.
We're in Iraq now for one reason only, to help the legitimate, elected government to build a secure, democratic and stable nation.
And I don't normally heckle, but it just came out.
And two, we can only and will only remain there with their consent.
What was their reasoning for removing you? How did they justify it at the time?
They didn't justify it at all.
Now, if that was the case, you would have had to have proved that, wouldn't you?
If that were the case, I would have signed a warrant.
Did you sign any such warrant?
No, Andrew.
Sorry, these are quite important questions.
I'm sorry, Andrew. Home Secretaries don't confirm or deny which warrants they have or have not signed.
What you see here today is a bunch of criminals.
Public security, but so far they've just been embarrassingly that a politician, senior politician, doing his job, has his house invaded by 9 anti-terrorist police.
This is suppression of free speech.
Who then hold him for hours and hours, who then go into the House of Commons, breaking parliamentary privilege, and do the same thing there. Surely, as a politician, you can't approve of it.
They are stealing your property. Excuse me. What you see here today,
we're all in charge of it. Doesn't make it your property. The fact that nobody's accepted personal responsibility does not make it your property.
Police state! Police state! Police state! Police state! They're arresting your people. They work for the capitalists and the banks. We are political!
fascist police officers.
Fascists!
They are threatening people with arrest here today. They are criminalising.
We are not the criminals.
What you're doing here today,
freedom fighters!
They are stealing your property.
Now, frankly, Andrew, you don't have the evidence that the police are looking at the moment.
They are closing down free speech. Freedom of speech.
She was the officer, right?
One last go. I think a lot of people watching will be very, very surprised, given what has happened to Mr. Green and his family, that you do not feel able to apologise to him.
Criminality! They are suppressing free speech and they are stealing your property! Stop, They're trying to close down freedom of speech in this country!
Is that if you believe in the operational independence of policing, if you believe that the professional judgment of police officers during the course of an investigation should be able to take its course, will you believe that even when things are tricky and sensitive?
That's why they've arrested no one for the stalls. It's just breaking it up. There's no offence going up. They're just fascists. The same people who'll be lined up outside the banks when you can't get your money out.
The idea that you charge into impact on operational independence when things get a bit hot is not a principled position. I believe in the principle of the operational independence of policing, and that's what I'm carrying out.
These are reasons about the NHS. You have no right to take these off us.
We will not be intimidated or harassed or bullied or threatened by a political police force who is trying to deny free speech in this country.
Don't harass us. We're campaigning for the NHS.
This is a police
Arrest the bankers. Don't harass us.
We're campaigning for the NHS and other things. We have a right to protest.
Intimidating and bullying innocent people. We will not stand for it, we will not put up with it, and we will take them through the courts.
The police are acting illegally.
They are a bunch of criminals here today.
We are campaigning, amongst other things, for the NHS. We have a right to protest.
Section 6 of the Rights Act.
We have a right to protest.
What you're
under the Human Rights Act.
here today,
I'm not sure
Section 6 Human Rights Act.
Against the parasites in the city and the bankers.
Section
We've
6
done nothing
Human
wrong.
Rights Act.
We're campaigning for the National Health Service and other human rights causes.